If you've ever typed, "Are you up?" knowing exactly what you were risking, subscribe and stay. These are the stories where intimacy begins after midnight, when honesty has fewer places left to hide. The message sits on her screen for a full minute before she sends it. "Are you up?" She stares at the words as if they might change shape if she waits long enough. It's past midnight. The apartment is quiet in that particular way that feels heavier at night, like the walls are listening. She tells herself she doesn't expect a reply. That's the lie. Her phone buzzes almost immediately. Yet, just that. No question mark. No hesitation. She exhales slowly, shoulders dropping an inch. "Sorry," she types, then deletes it. "I didn't mean to bother you." Delete. "I couldn't sleep." Delete again. She settles on honesty. "I didn't think you'd answer so fast." A pause. Then, "I was awake anyway." She smiles faintly, shifting on the couch, tucking her legs beneath her. The lamp beside her casts a soft pool of light, leaving the rest of the room in shadow. "Want me to call?" he adds. Her fingers hover. Yes. The phone rings almost instantly, and she answers on the first vibration, like she'd been holding it ready. "Hey," she says softly. "Hey," he replies. His voice is low, sleep-rough but alert. Familiar. Grounding. For a moment, neither of them speaks. It isn't awkward. It's weighted. Like both of them understand that if the silence stretches too far, one of them will say something that can't be taken back. "You okay?" he asks gently. She considers lying. "I don't know," she admits instead. "That's honest," he says. "What's keeping you up?" She shifts again, pulling the blanket tighter around herself, phone pressed to her ear. "Everything," she says, then exhales. "Nothing specific. Just a noise." "Want me to listen?" he asks. "Yes," she answers immediately. Then softer. "Please." He doesn't rush her. She appreciates that about him, that he never fills space just because it's there. "I keep thinking about how quiet it gets this late," she says. "How things you ignore during the day get louder." He murmurs. "The night doesn't let you hide." "No," she agrees. "It doesn't." She can hear him shift on his end. Fabric rustling, a soft exhale. She imagines him sitting up, phone in hand, expression calm and attentive. "I almost didn't text," she admits. "What stopped you?" he asks. "The thought that it would mean something," she says. "And does it?" he asks, voice steady. She swallows. "I think it does." Another pause. Longer this time. "I'm glad you did," he says finally. Her chest tightens, not painfully, just enough to make her aware of it. "Me too," she says. They talk like that for a while, about nothing that sounds important out loud. Work frustrations. Small annoyances. The way the city sounds different after midnight. But underneath it all, there's an awareness humming. An unspoken closeness that feels amplified by the darkness. She notices the way his voice drops when he listens. How he doesn't interrupt. How he doesn't rush her toward solutions. "You're very calm," she says at one point. "Someone has to be," he replies. She smiles. "Do you ever get lonely?" The question slips out before she can stop it. He doesn't answer right away. "Yes," he says eventually. "Do you?" "Yes," she admits. They let that sit. "Does it feel worse at night?" he asks. "Yes," she says. "But also clearer." "I get that," he replies. "There's less performance at night." "That's exactly it," she says, relief threading her voice. "I don't feel like I have to be anything right now." "You don't," he agrees. "Not with me." The words land softly and stay. She closes her eyes, phone pressed closer to her ear, as if that might shorten the distance. "Can I tell you something?" she asks. "You don't have to ask," he says. She takes a breath. "I like your voice," she admits. "At night." He exhales slowly. She can hear the smile in it. "I was hoping you'd say that," he says. Her pulse quickens. "Why?" she asks. "Because I like the way you go quiet when you're listening," he replies. "Like you're really here." She laughs softly. "I am." "I know," he says. The air between them feels different now, thicker, warmer. She shifts again, stretching her legs out along the couch, blanket slipping slightly. She doesn't fix it. "Where are you right now?" she asks. "On my bed." he replies. Sitting up. She imagines it too easily. What about you? He asks. Couch, she says. Lamp on. Blanket. He hums. That sounds comfortable. It is, she says. Then quieter. I wish you were here. The words hang there, fragile and bold all at once. He doesn't respond immediately. She almost backtracks. But then he speaks, voice lower now. I wish I was too, he says. Her breath catches. This might be crossing a line, she says softly. Do you want to cross it? He asks. She considers that honestly. Yes, she says. Not rushed. Not impulsive. Certain. Okay, he says. Then let's be clear about where we are. And where is that? She asks. Two people awake too late, he says, choosing to be honest. She smiles. I like that. Me too. They talk more quietly now, voices instinctively lowering, like they're sharing something private even though they're miles apart. I like that you don't try to fix me, she says. I like that you don't make me guess what you're feeling, he replies. She shifts again, rolling onto her side, phone nestled against her pillow now. Are you comfortable? He asks. Yes, she says. Are you? Yes. She closes her eyes. If I fall asleep, she murmurs, will you hang up? No. He says immediately. I'll stay until you do. Her throat tightens. You don't have to, she says. I want to, he replies. They fall quiet again. But this silence is different, soft, companionable. She can hear his breathing. He can hear hers. The intimacy feels heavier than touch. I didn't expect this tonight, she admits. Neither did I, he says. But I'm not surprised. She smiles into the pillow. Why not? She asks. Because we've been circling this, he replies gently. Just waiting for the right hour. She exhales. Is it wrong that it feels easier to say this without looking at you? She asks. No, he says. Sometimes the dark tells the truth first. Her eyes flutter. I'm glad you picked up, she says again. So am I, he replies. She listens to his breathing, steady and present, and realizes something quietly, undeniably true. This wasn't just a late-night call. It was an opening. And neither of them is pretending otherwise. She doesn't realize she's smiling until her cheek starts to ache. The phone is warm against her ear now, like it's been there longer than it should have been, like it belongs there. His breathing on the other end has slowed. Not asleep, not distracted. Just present. You still there? She asks quietly. Yeah, he says. I was listening to you breathe. Her pulse stutters. That's a little dangerous. I know, he replies. I'm still here. She shifts under the blanket, rolling onto her back, staring up at the ceiling. The room feels smaller now, not because of the walls but because there's someone else in it with her, even from a distance. Tell me something, she says. What do you want to know? He asks. What you're thinking right now, she answers. He doesn't respond immediately. She can almost hear him choosing his words carefully, not to soften them but to make sure they're true. I'm thinking, he says slowly, that this feels more intimate than a lot of moments that were supposed to be. Her throat tightens. Yeah. And I'm thinking, he continues, that if we were in the same room we'd be very still. She exhales, a quiet sound that surprises even her. Yes, she says. We would. She imagines it too easily, the space between them charged and deliberate. No noticing. No pretending it's accidental. I like how you don't rush me, she says softly. I like how you don't pull away, he replies. They sit in that for a moment. Can I ask you something else? She asks. Always. Why did you answer so fast? She asks. When I texted. He smiles on the other end. She can hear it in his voice. Because I was hoping it was you. Her eyes close. That's not fair, she murmurs. It's honest, he says. She turns onto her side again, hugging the pillow closer, phone nestled between her cheek and the fabric. I've wanted to text you like that before, she admits. Late. When I knew it would mean something. What stopped you? He asks. The risk, she says. That it would change things. And now? He asks. And now, she says quietly. I think pretending it wouldn't change things was worse. He hums softly in agreement. You know what I like about this? He says. What? She asks. That we're not trying to define it, he replies. We're just here. She smiles again. That feels right. The call stretches on, time losing its edges. They talk about small things again. Music he listens to when he can't sleep. The way she rearranges her furniture when she needs control over something harmless. At some point, she laughs softly, surprising herself with how light she feels. I don't usually laugh like this at night, she says. Why not? He asks. Because night usually feels heavy, she admits. But this doesn't. I'm glad, he says. You deserve light too. Her fingers curl into the blanket. You're very good at saying things that stay, she murmurs. Only when I mean them, he replies. The conversation slows again, naturally this time. Not because they're running out of things to say, but because they don't need to fill the space. She listens to his breathing again, steady and unhurried. Are you lying down now? She asks. Yes, he says. Phone on my chest. She imagines it. The rise and fall. The stillness. I wish I could see you, she admits. He exhales slowly. I wish you could too. The words sit between them. Not as a promise, not as pressure. Just possibility. If we keep doing this, she says carefully, it's going to change how I hear your voice. I was counting on that, he replies. Her lips part in a quiet laugh. You're not subtle. No, he agrees. I'm just patient. She shifts again, the blanket slipping lower over her shoulder. She doesn't fix it. I feel close to you, she says. Even like this. Then come a little closer, he says gently. She presses the phone more firmly to her ear, cheek sinking into the pillow. Like that? She asks. Yes, he replies. Exactly like that. Her breath slows, sinking unconsciously with his. Stay, she murmurs. I am, he says. I'm not going anywhere. They don't talk for a while after that. The silence is intimate, shared. She can hear the faint rustle as he adjusts slightly, then stills again. She imagines his hand resting somewhere steady, grounding himself the way he always seems to. Are you asleep? She whispers eventually. No, he replies. Just comfortable. Me too, she says. Her eyes drift closed. Not fully asleep, just hovering. If I fall asleep, she murmurs, don't hang up right away. I won't, he says. I'll stay a little longer. That feels nice, she says. It is, he agrees. She feels herself slipping, the edges of her thoughts softening. Her voice drops. I'm glad I texted you, she says one last time. So am I, he replies. I'm glad you didn't pretend you weren't awake. She smiles, barely conscious now. The call ends later than either of them intended. Not abruptly, not dramatically. Just with the quiet understanding that this wasn't the end of something small. It was the beginning of something deliberate. And when she wakes the next morning, phone still on her pillow, the first thing she notices isn't the time. It's the absence of heaviness. The night didn't take anything from her. It gave her something. And neither of them is pretending it was just a text.